All right, so along my journey, I discovered a few things. And part of those things was what to eliminate first. So this is your to-do video on what to eliminate and the reasons behind it. So when I first started looking at changing up my diet, I needed to do it kind of easy. It's always best to ease in your family and your own body into a new person and into a new experience of eating. So this experience included eliminating high fructose corn syrup, which had a certain bad rap at that time and still does, but now these days they have changed it because that labeling got so much bad press. They've now changed it to lots of things. So basically what you're looking for is, are there added sugars to anything you're eating? And what are the added sugars? I have noticed that when I go as sugar-free as possible, and then I go and I have, say, a package of Skittles, I can feel a jolt to my brain, and that will soon lead to a depression. So it gives it a jolt, but then it leaves it in a very depressed state. Not healthy. So the sugar they're using in that product is not healthy. Just some quick things. If you have a Trader Joe's, the evaporated cane juice ingredient that Trader Joe's uses doesn't give a spike to the brain. So I really like that. I often buy their chocolate chips as my sweet treat fix because it helps. And I've tested several varieties of chocolate chips because I'm like, I just want to know. And it's really interesting how at certain times of the year, Costco is one of the places we frequent, and they have huge bags of chocolate chips. And so it seemed like it would make financial sense to just buy that bag instead of the smaller bags at Trader Joe's. But it wasn't, because we would get a sugar spike from that bag at Costco. So be aware that while you're eliminating a lot of the corn syrups, you really want to start looking at the actual sugars added to products and eliminate those. Go ahead and keep your fruit juices if they're added to your food, but don't drink them. Drink water. Drink water that's flavored with an essential oil to start that health journey. So you're eliminating sugary drinks altogether. Like, let's go water, let's go tea. It's a little bit of a transition for your palate, but it will be a really good transition for your palate. And then eliminating the sugars. It is very important to also eliminate white flour. White flour is not healthy for you, and sugars, flours, and white salts all have more chemicals in them than they actually have food component. So that's why we're eliminating this, because we actually need to eliminate all the extra garbage that's in the food that you don't know is there. Okay, it's part of that process of creating the food for you. So white sugars, white flours. That's pretty easy because these days there's a few quick fixes. Like if you're eliminating white bread, switch it out for whole wheat. There's some really good tasting whole wheat breads out there. And there's a lot, because of the keto craze, there's a lot of breads that are really low carb. So that's going to help you too. But you want some fiber in there. Fiber is one of those agents that's amazing in food that helps with your emotional weight loss, because the fiber says, hey, I'm worth cleaning some things out. What I really actually love is eating my grains in whole, cracked, or rolled forms. So if you make a batter bread, a thicker bread, like a banana bread, put in rolled oats, or put some rolled oats in the blender and give them a quick whiz, and you'll get a flour that's going to be way more helpful for your body than a ground flour. If you want a really good flour alternative that's alternative to white flour, the foodnanny.com carries kamut flour. That is fantastic. That's going to be helpful if you are one that likes to make your own baked goods at home. That has been a key for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a key for you. I do enjoy making food for my kids. It's a zone of excellence, not a zone of genius, so it does take some energy to do it. But I do like creating that healthy version at home. And I also know that when I do that, it's way cost effective. So I buy the kamut flour so that I can make pizzas for my kids. that I can make bread for them, that we can have waffles, so that they get that flour experience, but on a way healthier version. Because when you're looking at flours, you want something that's going to have fiber, that's going to be more of a whole grain, that's organic. And kamut is an ancient grain. It's a cousin to the wheat, but it is its own grain, and it hasn't been messed with a lot in these last hundreds of years. So it's very healthy on the gut. So you're going to start with those and give yourself some time. Give yourself a good 3 weeks to start changing that. If you find that you already have a lot of these practices in place, let's take that to the next level, where we learn in my next video about allergens.